Yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn show, man. Today is the 1st of February. Tons of NBA action on the board for today. It's what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 games. Lots to get into. Lots to get into. I stayed up pretty late last night, capping the slate. And for the members, they know I was sending out plays at 2 a.m. this morning. So it's some things that I absolutely love, some things that I bet. I think some of them have moved, maybe not all of them. So we're gonna jump into it. As far as yesterday goes, a little gun shy. I did not end up making a bunch of plays. I actually gave you guys the only look that I played yesterday, which was the Miles Bridges under his points, rebounds, and assists in that first game, Charlotte and San Antonio game. But the rest of the short list, I think, did go 4-1. I can't remember all the plays that we talked about, but I noticed Sengun double was a winner. The Nimhart over his 7.5 assists was a winner. He did get the 10. I said taking him at 9 at plus money was a winner. There was a couple other winners as well. I can't remember what the loser was either, but hopefully you guys found some ways to make some money yesterday, and hopefully we can kind of keep that going. What's up, Tommy? Top of the morning to you. What's up, Saturated? He says, "Y'all, I'm a dummy for taking the pills. Broke a super nice parlay." That over, that was the other play. We talked about the over yesterday. That was a winner as well. I shared that on Twitter. All right, let's see what we have for today. Good morning, Brian. He says Hornets Spurs dropped off after that first quarter. Could have grabbed any number. Nice handicap yesterday. I just didn't make a lot of plays. Yeah, same. What's up, Tasha? Hope all is well with you. Feel like I haven't seen you in quite a while. Appreciate you for tapping in. Good morning, Dilly. PZ top of the morning. What's up, Prolifics? Just went 2-2 yesterday. Got to do better. Philly cost me. Played third quarter live over. Pitiful. Solution says I do not bet on Sundays no more. I used to take Sundays off too, but I think I got some nice angles for today. All right, so let's jump into it, man. The link is in the description for JaXon if you guys are interested in checking it out. It's a sports betting tool, AI sports betting tool that can save you tons of time when you're researching your handicap, player prop, size, totals, any sport as well. So be sure to check that link out if you guys are interested. I've heard really good feedback from people that have checked the link out. And let's jump into it, man. So JaXon yesterday, 1-1 split. The Minnesota Timberwolves -7.5. I couldn't get there, but JaXon did give that out, and that was a winner. And then Houston -10. Houston's offense is broken. They just literally can't score the basketball. Even against Dallas yesterday, they were held less than 45% shooting, and they did not cover that spread yesterday. So 1-1 day for JaXon. I kind of wanted to go back to the same prompt, so I asked JaXon again. The prompt was, let's see if I can find it just to make sure I give it to you guys directly. So we have analyze situational advantages and scheduling spots for the NBA and provide two best spread bets based on situational advantages. Rank them in order of confidence. So the first look here is on the Denver Nuggets. Okay, the Denver Nuggets here. So I'm gonna tell you guys what JaXon says. So analyzing today's NBA slate requires a surgical look at the schedule crunch and rest disparities. We have a massive 10-game slate where several teams are navigating tricky scheduling spots. Specifically, the Chicago Bulls, Miami Heat, San Antonio Spurs are all playing second leg of back-to-back games after grueling contest last night. Conversely, we have rest versus rust scenarios. The Detroit Pistons haven't played since January 27. Giving them a massive 4-day rest advantage, which this is not true, over the Brooklyn Nets. This is actually a terrible situational spot for Brooklyn, but we'll talk about that. The Oklahoma City Thunder also entered tonight with a significant 2-day rest advantage over the Denver Nuggets. Situational handicap is about identifying where the physical and mental fatigue factors intersect with statistical mismatches. So the first look here is on the Oklahoma City Thunder the Denver Nuggets plus the 8. So confidence level says very high. The situational, it says it's a premier situational spot, situational advantage of the day. The Oklahoma City Thunder are the best team in the NBA by almost every advanced metric, yet they're catching a massive 8 points against the Denver Nuggets. This is not correct. This is why you got to do your own research as well. They're not getting 8 points. They're laying 8 points. So we're going to skip past that one. So the next one is not great in that one. Can't get a +8 with the Oklahoma City Thunder, probably ever. So the next one is Detroit Pistons and the Brooklyn Nets. So JaXon likes the Detroit Pistons minus the 12.5. It looks like, yeah, it's a couple 12.5. DraftKings got a 12.5. So it says this is a situational loss for the Brooklyn Nets. The Pistons are the class of the Eastern Conference at 35-12 and have been resting at home since January 28th. This is not true. So you know what? We actually go skip over that too. No plays for JaXon today because these notes are not accurate. The Detroit Pistons are not coming off a 4-day rest event. It's actually 3rd and 4, and I think it's 4th and 6 for them as well. So this is not a day that you want to listen to JaXon, but typically you want to listen to JaXon. I don't want to give you guys these plays based on the accuracy in these breakdowns. These are not good plays for today. So we'll skip over JaXon for today, but the link is in the description if you guys want to check it out for, player props or other sides or totals. Maybe I got to switch up the prompt, but the prompt has been good recently, which is why I wanted to keep going back to it. 1-1 yesterday, 2-1 the day before that, and I think and 1-1 the day before that. So what's that? 2, 3, 4 and 2 over the last 3 days for JaXon using that same prompt, which is why I wanted to use it. Let's get into the matchups, man, because I got a lot of plays that I want to share with you guys. This first one is the Utah Jazz and the Toronto Raptors. So I just want to glance at the injury report real quick to make sure I got it correct. I know that Keontae George was listed as questionable. We'll see if he plays. No idea if he plays. The total is going up, so guessing maybe he is going to play. And then Nurkic is also listed as questionable. Kevin Love is listed as questionable. And then on the Toronto side of things, they should be pretty healthy outside of Jakob Poeltl. So real quick, I want to actually, but I want to take you guys over to Outlier just because I'm going to be pretty quick with the plays today. It's a lot to share. I spent a lot of time on this card last night. A lot of time. So the first look that I have is Mamu Kilishvili. So if we go look at this game, I just gave you guys the injury report. We got a Utah team that's coming in. They are 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games. They've lost 5 in a row, 9 of their last 10. They're coming off a loss as a favorite against the Brooklyn Nets, and it's their 4th game in 6 nights. So what I play here on the Toronto side of things, they're 9-15 at home. Not great. They also are coming off back-to-back losses against Orlando and against New York, and they played 6 of their last 7 games on the road. So not the greatest spot for Toronto flying back home from Orlando, laying this big of a number either. I don't really like that either. So I went straight to player props. I'm looking at Mamu Kilishvili over his 3-point prop. I bet this at 1.5 last night. You can see on the full season, he's up and over the number in just 33% of his games. You can get a +155 last night. That's a little bit better of a number than I got. But yeah, you can get +155 last night. I bet him to hit 2 threes in this spot. We know that the Utah Jazz allow the most three-pointers allowed, the most 3-point makes, all that good stuff. So one thing I looked at was I wanted to look at the games that he played without Jakob Poeltl, which he's played in quite a few now. So without Jakob Poeltl, still 39%, only over in 11 of his 28 games. But you can see recently he's been shooting the ball really, really well. 4 of his last 7, he's gone over the number. Last 3, he actually has not. But when I played this last night, it was +139 on DraftKings. I didn't play it for a full unit, but I do think it's a really good look. So what I told the members was, you can wait on the line, get better value tomorrow. But Mamu gets a great matchup here against the worst perimeter defense in the league in games versus teams that are bottom 10 in 3-pointers allowed. He's over in 7 of his 10 games. In the last 10 games, he's getting up 4 attempts per game, which we can see if we go last 10 and go down to 3-pointers attempts. You can see he's getting up 3.9. In games where he's gotten at least 4 attempts this season against teams that are bottom 10 in 3-point defense allowed, he's actually over in 7 of his 8 games, averaging 2.6 made threes. So I think it's a great plus money look here. And the line in this one, like I said, you can get a better number than I got because BetMGM got it at +155 right now. So that's the first look in this game is Mamu Kilishvili over his 1.5 3-point makes. I consider RJ Barrett. I consider Emmanuel quickly. Quickly's not shooting the ball really well, but it could be a nice bounce back spot for him. Consider RJ Barrett as well over their 3-point props. I do think it's a really good advantageous matchup for the Toronto Raptors 3-point shooters. So that's my thought process on this one. Let's see what you guys are thinking, if you have any thoughts here. And as far as deciding total goes, like, I'm not really wanting to lay this many points with Toronto. Utah, if they get Keontae George in, I think they can keep this within the number. Maybe Toronto first half is something that I consider. Utah has not been great recently. Got this as well, because I was looking into this last night. I want you guys to think I'm just talking. So Utah, Toronto. Let's go here. So this is the Money Baller. If you guys are interested in checking it out, there's a link in the description. So you can see the situational spot. Jazz, 4th game in 6 nights. First leg of back-to-back as well. I forgot who they play tomorrow. They play they actually don't play anybody tomorrow. They play the Pacers on Wednesday or Tuesday. So if we go look at team comparisons and you start looking at some of the trends for both of these teams, the Raptors are just 6-11 as a home favorite, but look how strong they are in the first half. 13-4 against the number. The Utah Jazz have not been great either in the first half. Just 8-11-1 if they're road dogs. You got Toronto coming off back-to-back losses. They should be pretty motivated in this spot. If we just look at the last 20 games, we can see that. We can see that Toronto 13-7 against the spread overall in the first half. 4-1 if they're a home favorite as well. And then the Utah Jazz 5-5 against the number in the first half. But I think Toronto should be pretty motivated in this spot. I do expect them to be able to hold this Utah Jazz offense down. Toronto, if they win, it's typically with their defense. One thing I noticed with Toronto last night, though, is that they really struggled to close out games. They're not a great second half team. I mean, you can kind of see it in the numbers there that I just showed you guys, but I'm not sure why. They just haven't been able to really do anything in the second half. And they got smoked to Orlando in the second half specifically, smoked by the Knicks in the second half specifically in those last 2 games. So maybe just a look towards, Toronto early, but I didn't play this side of the total. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. What's up, 77 figures? So shout out to the Mavs for taking care of business. You did like them plus 10.5. I'm glad to see you cash that. Good morning, Felicia. Appreciate you for tapping in. Appreciate you, Solution. What up, J-Man? Let's see. Austin, it's great advertising. Probably talking about JaXon. JaXon that gave out so many winners on this show, man. That wasn't the greatest of advertisement. Let's see. Blunt says Jazz are for real about playing basketball. It's showing. I'll lay the number, Chris. Okay. So I think Toronto this season. Toronto as a favorite of 10 points or more. They beat the Wizards. They smoked the Wizards. This was back before Thanksgiving. Beat them by 30. But then most recently, 2 days after that, against the Nets, they were laying 11.5, and they won the game by 10. I looked into the Jazz as double-digit road dogs as well, and it's not necessarily that bad actually. They're 6-6 against the number if they get in double digits on the road. 8-4 to the under. They've actually stayed under their team total. I mean, they've played in 6 of their last 7 under the number as well. But we'll see if Keontae George plays. Don't let me talk you off, man. I hope you cash it. Raptors team total over for me, Tommy says. Okay. Prolific says, I agree. Here's the problem, right? The Jazz defense we know is not great. So it's real easy to go take a team total over, for the Toronto Raptors. The Toronto Raptors offense it stinks at times. Like, it's really, really bad. And they're not a great 3-point shooting team. I think that's the thing that really scares me over taking their team total over. But don't let me talk you guys off. Jazz give up 126 on average in these games. But I will say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The last 6 times that they've been a double-digit road dog, they've held their opponent under their team total. Because the books are going to inflate these numbers. They're going to be super high. So 6 times in a row, they've held. I wouldn't say held. I would say the books just put the number too high, and the team total doesn't get hit by the Utah Jazz opponent. So that's my thought process on that one. Let's see. Utah has started showing. I started tanking for the draft. I think the Raptors should smoke them here. Do the Raptors play fast? They do not. They actually bottom 10 in pace. Maybe a first half under. Appreciate you, Anthony. What up, Adam? Says another green night in the association. Gonna go lighter on Sunday. I feel lucky cashing on the weekend. That's a fact. Good morning, Mark. Cobalt as well with you. He says he got Toronto minus 10 on my list, but I like your first half look better. It should be a first half look, but I don't know if I'm confident enough to play it. Mamu for 2 threes is the best look in this game. Let's keep going. Next game up, Nets and Pistons. I played this one as well. So we got a Brooklyn team that is playing the last of a 5-game road trip. They are, I want to go get the injury report real quick. So they have Clowney listed as out. Michael Porter Jr. is off the report. And Zaire Williams continues to be out as well. On the Detroit side of things, pretty healthy. Karis LeVert is listed as questionable. Cade is listed as probable. I'm expecting Cade to play. Not sure if Karis LeVert can play. I feel like he hasn't played in quite a while. So Brooklyn, last game of a 5-game road trip. First game back on the East Coast. We know that they were out west. They played against the last game was against Utah. Before that, they played against Denver. So you're traveling, from Denver to Utah and then all the way back across the country to Detroit. I don't think it's a great spot for Brooklyn at all, situationally. They do have 3 straight covers. It is the 3rd game in 4 nights. It is 4th game in 6 nights. And then on Detroit side of things, it is the first game home off a 3-game road trip. It is 3rd and 4th for them as well, and 4th and 6th. And it's their first game back home on the East Coast. All of that tells me I don't want nothing to do with the side. I don't want nothing to do with the total in this game. Total has gone up a little bit. It was at 213.5 last night, and it is up to 215.5. I guess I agree with that. The Brooklyn totals are so low now that they're actually starting to tip up and over. I think they're 5-5 to their team to the full game total over because they've been getting such low numbers as of late. So head to head, Detroit has won the last 4. They've covered all 4, including the 10.5 point line early this season in Brooklyn. Both teams are coming off wins as dogs. Brooklyn beat Utah. Detroit beat Golden State on the second leg of back-to-back. So what I played here, and I'm actually not going to pull this up, but what I played here was Michael Porter Jr. under on his rebounds and assists. I will see if that number is still available. I played Michael Porter Jr. under rebounds and assists. I actually started the handicap, but wanted to fade Cam Thomas, which I still feel like he's fadeable in this spot. But looking at Michael Porter Jr., he so minus 125. The number is still not widely available because a lot of books I see BetMGM got this down to 8.5 already. But you can still get minus 125 on FanDuel if you want to play it. Minus 136 on DraftKings. We got minus 116 last night on DraftKings. Caesars got a minus 132 as well. So this is odds jam, just shopping around, getting the best of the number. But Michael Porter Jr. gets a brutal matchup here in Detroit. Against a Pistons team that allows the fewest assists, the 4th fewest rebounds in a game. In games this season where he's played teams that rank top 10 in both assists and rebounds allowed, he's under in 6 of his 9 games. He's averaging right at 8 rebounds and assists. He has 7 rebounds and assists combined in that first matchup that he played this season, with 5 rebounds on 11 potentials and 2 assists on 2 potentials. So this game, of course, features the 13-point spread. Could be a blowout. MPJ could be sitting on the bench, not getting his full allotment of minutes. I just think that regardless, I know the Pistons could be in a little bit of a fatigue and letdown spot, but Brooklyn as well. And I think that if this game gets out of hand, Michael Porter Jr. will be sitting on the bench. They might not necessarily, playing big minutes in this spot. Again, I also consider Cam Thomas, but ultimately I went with Michael Porter Jr. under his rebounds and assists in this spot, thinking that, Detroit will make it difficult on him. This line is still available at minus 125. The Cam Thomas look, I think, was more so. I didn't play Cam Thomas, but very, very strong lean on Cam Thomas. I'll just take you guys through that real quick. So all right. So Cam Thomas is playing against a team that's really, really good off the catch and shoot, which is where he gets a lot of his points. He loves to go ISO. His points are actually up to 14.5. This was 13.5 last night. It's actually becoming more and more intriguing. And I was going to play his whole points, rebounds, and assists under 19.5 because, again, Detroit, allows the fewest assists, the 4th fewest rebounds in their last 5 games. They're also top 10 in both categories as well. So their defense has been pretty consistent. I think one of the things I looked at in this game was was Cam Thomas when he's playing against teams that are really good against the what did I look at? I should have probably wrote this down. I don't really want to go through it right now. One was just defense against the above the break three. We know he gets 34% of his points, which is a little bit more than a third. From above the 3-point line, Detroit is the sixth best defense in that category. If I look at him versus teams that are top 10, he's under his points, rebounds, and assists at 19.5. He's actually under in his last 7 straight games. If I factor in games that have Michael Porter Jr., he's under in 3 of 9 games. It was something else that I looked at, but yeah, this was solid enough. That's what I ended up playing. I didn't play the Cam Thomas look. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. Yep, that's a fact, Tommy. They did not play fast. Lots of eye candy on the board with headline matchups, but you got to eat your veggies. Raptors -10 here. If anything, 77 figure says. Tommy says, I didn't play it, Chris, but that's what I would play in this game, or maybe a Jazz team total under. Yeah, I probably play it live. This was also something I considered, J-Man. He says during during 17.5 points, Brooklyn restricted area defense is horrible, and that's an absolute fact. It felt too easy for me to take Duran in this spot. He did have 30 points. I was going to combine the points plus rebounds. I think it was 28.5 was the number. Let me just double check it real quick. I looked at this game for way too long too. Points plus rebounds, 28.5. Yeah. He dominated this matchup. He had 30 in the first matchup. I think he had 30 points alone in that first matchup. And yeah, I mean, everything J-Man just said. They give up. He gets 73% of his points in the restricted area, and the Brooklyn Nets give it up down there. They're actually 23rd in restricted area defense, 10 feet away from the rim or worse. He also gets a bunch of his points at the pick and roll man with Kate. So Kate assists make a lot of sense. During averages 29.5 points plus rebounds when he plays against teams that are bottom 10 in pick and roll defense as well. So yeah, Jalen Duren makes a lot of sense in this game as well. But I'm not gonna say in-game parlay or any of that stuff. I'm just play the Michael Porter Jr. over, but I like this Duren look as well. Let's see. What up, Super? He says, Green Knight last night, last 2 weeks, take Ron Holland points today. Okay. I like Ron Holland. He's just so inconsistent though. Adam says he played K to get 11 assists. I know it's a bit high, but he averages 19 potentials, and the Nets are 26th in giving up assists. Jalen Duren points over looks good as well. Yeah, I could agree with that. They're super aggressive on ball handlers. We know that. Brooklyn is. And K should feast in the assist department. They may make it difficult for K to score the basketball in this game. It wouldn't surprise me if K went under his points in the spot, because it should be a game where everybody else eats and not necessarily as much as K. K's actually his 24.5 points. I want to say the last time that they played, he did not get to 25 points. Let's see. He actually got to 34 points, so my apologies there. Brooklyn's defense has been fading recently, but they do a really good job on the pick and roll man. They do a lot of blitzing, kind of taking the ball out the pick and roll man's hand. So that makes a ton of sense, but I'm not playing Cade under his points today. I just think that it is a good look. Let's see. Bucks Celtics. We'll go over that game at the end, Tommy. Not a game I'm super interested in. I do have a couple things in my notes though. Miray says, what do you think about Nicholas Claxton under his points, rebounds, and assists? I think that they probably set the line too low. Let's see real quick what it is. Yes, points listed at 10.5. He is, if we factor in games with Michael Porter Jr. and games with Cam Thomas, he's right at 12.5. If we have him against teams, because he gets all of his points, 72% of them in the restricted area, the books are going to account for that, right? So we look at teams that are top 10 in restricted area defense. He averages right at 11. He went under in 3 games and over in 3 games. Against this team specifically, he had He had 17 the last time that they played. I just think the number might be a tad bit too low. Last time we faded Claxton, we did do a good job, but I'm not sure, man. He has been struggling recently. Looks like he's under in 5 of his last 6 games overall. I'm not sure if that's correlated with minutes. Let's see. 30, 31, 29, 24, 23, 39. Not really sure, man. Not really sure. Let me just check one more thing real quick. Yeah, I think the number is about where it should be, honestly. And it's juiced to the under as well. It looks like 10.5 is minus 124 on DraftKings, and they got it at 9.5 everywhere else. His rebounds prop is listed at 7.5. And that's a super low number too. I still would go under, but it's juiced to the under, minus 145 on BetMGM. So no real thoughts from me mid-range. Probably something that's a little bit too low for my blood. Adams is going to tell the Michael Porter Jr. look, let's cash. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Mark says he tailed it as well. Let's cash it. Let's cash it. Let's cash it. What else? What else? What else? Goon says, wouldn't the Utah Jazz team total under be a better look? It depends, Goon. So I'm real big on waiting for the injury report to clear up. And the injury report in this game has Keontae George listed as questionable. So that's why I didn't play the team total. That's why I didn't look too much into the team total under. Now, if Keontae George doesn't play, absolutely. But if Keontae George plays, like their offense is so much better. He's potential all-star this year. Keontae George been hooping. Jazz team total is 112.5. So yeah, I would look team total under, but you want to know if Keontae's gonna play, is my thought process. Let's see what else y'all seeing here. What about Detroit team total over? Tasha says. So Tasha, I just don't like the situational spot for Detroit, but don't let me talk you off. I think when I was looking into games yesterday with Detroit was laying a big number, they typically go under. And Detroit already don't play super fast. When they play against teams, I think when they play against teams that are slow, they typically don't score a lot of points because they don't need to. Like, that's one thing that I've learned, and I think it saved me some money this season. So if they're home favorite and the total is below 220, which it is in this game, Detroit averages 101 points. 3 times Detroit have played in games. Let's just put 225. All right. So this total is 215.5, right? Detroit has played, they've been a home favorite 5 times this season with a total of less than 225, right? So against the Bucks, that total was 223.5. They didn't cover the spread. They're actually 0-5 in these games as well. I looked into all this last night. They're 4-1 to the under. They average 106 points. Now, it's not like the Nets defense is good. It's just like the Pistons don't need to score the ball as much. The Pistons offense not that great either. Like, they can get, stifled, especially with the Nets playing at such a slow pace. So let's see. The Pistons got to 124 against the Bucks, but they got to 92 against the Clippers. They got to 108 against the Suns. They got to 104 against the Celtics, and they got to 104 against the Rockets as well. So they don't necessarily do the greatest job of scoring. They're actually under their team total in 4 of these 5 games. So that's why I stayed away from the total in this one. They do have 3 straight covers, though. 3 straight covers for the Pistons if they're a double-digit home favorite. They didn't cover against the Wizards and the Bucks to start the season, but their last 3, the Hornets, the Pacers, and the Kings, they covered all 3 of those games, and they won by 23, 43, and 26. It's just not a great spot, though. I know I keep talking about the spot. It's not a great spot first game back home for both of these teams on the East Coast. 3rd and 4th, 4th and 6th for the Pistons. Big win against the Golden State Warriors. Let me talk you guys off, though. 77 Vegas' Pistons back from a roadie. It's nasty, but Nets cover the 13 here. Okay. Nets team total under, Pistons team total over, game under. Okay. Mark says low total, wide spread. Nets plus 13 for me. Okay. What up, Ski? He says, get that cash today, fellas. Shout out to my guy, Ski. All right. let's keep going. So next game up, I wanted to talk about was, do me a favor, hit the like button for me if you can. Subscribe to the channel if you guys have not already. I'll drop the show link in the group chat. Let's keep going. So next up, we got the Lakers and the Knicks, the New York Knickerbockers and Los Angeles Lakers. I did bet this one. I actually bet it twice. I had 2 bets in this game. So I want to make another one too, if I'm being completely honest. So line opened with the Knicks laying 4. It went up to 4.5. Then I saw it touch 5. Now it's looked like it's coming back down, but there are some 5s out there, some 4.5s out there. Total yesterday, I wrote 229 in my notes. I see 229. I see 229.5. I see 228.5. So you can get whatever number it is that you want there. We start with the injury report, and I think the injury report is important in this game. So actually, so Austin Reeves is listed as questionable. I kind of feel like Austin Reeves is going to play in this game. When I sent this out to the members last night, I said I kind of think that Austin Reeves is going to play just because he was listed as questionable in that last game against the Wizards, and the Lakers aren't on a back-to-back. That was on Friday, so I think Austin Reeves is going to be in for this game. On the New York Knicks side of things, only McBride is listed as out, so pretty full roster here for the New York Knicks as well. All right, so Lakers have been good on the road. They're 12-15 against the number. This is their 7th straight road game, though, and I think that's the problematic piece here. The Knicks have been playing probably the best basketball of anybody outside of maybe the Charlotte Hornets as of late. They're on a 5-game winning streak. They won all 5. They've covered all 5. This is a 4th game in 6 nights, but that last game wasn't really taxing against Portland. And they've been at the crib for quite a while now. I think this is at least 4th straight home game for them. I think it's 3rd straight home game for them. They did go to Toronto, smoked Toronto in the second half, came back home. So I guess it's 2nd straight home game. But they've been good at home in general all season, 17-8 against the number. This one is a little bit scary here because when I was capping this game last night, I thought about what I was doing last year when the trade happened between Luka and Anthony Davis. And ironically, this is 1-year anniversary of the trade. The Knicks, the Lakers, I vividly remember this. I went to sleep right after the game was over with. The Lakers were in New York. They were getting up, I think they were getting 6.5, 7 points. I think they were a little bit shorthanded. Anthony Davis didn't play in that game. And for whatever reason, JJ Redick does a really good job on centers. I'm gonna talk about Karl-Anthony Towns in just a second. But the Lakers went into New York, to New York, and won that game outright on the 1st of February. And then the trade happened that same night. And I remember waking up like, what? You man, stop playing with me. I'm going back to sleep. And now it was confirmed that Luka was traded for Anthony Davis. So I say all that to say that the Lakers have kind of owned the Knicks. They've won the last 3 head-to-head meetings. They've covered the last 3 spreads. I'm not sure if JJ Redick just knows something about how to slow down the offense that the Knicks typically play with, but this is the first meeting this season. I say all of that to say I'm on the Knicks here. I did take them minus the 4.5. I don't like the situational spot for the Lakers. I know that they offer 1 day's rest. This could potentially be the last game for LeBron in Madison Square Garden, but I don't like the Lakers when they're playing against these really good teams on the road. One thing I looked at was the Lakers as road dogs, and they have not done well in the last 5 games. They've actually not covered any of the spreads or won any of the games when they've been a road dog. We just saw this against Cleveland. Of course, you get a nice bounce back win against the Wizards, who are on the second leg of a back-to-back. But the Knicks are playing so good basketball right now, I just really can't fade them. I do think the Lakers run out of gas in this spot. I played the Knicks here. Knicks for me. I'm going to get to the second play in just a second, but I think it might have been something else that I had in the handicap. Let's see. I think I just said everything, honestly. Austin Reeves coming back and throw off the rhythm a little bit, make the defense a lot worse. Knicks top 10 in the restricted area defense as well. Lakers are not a great 3-point shooting team, so I don't really trust them to be able to knock down shots from the outside. The Knicks with Karl-Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson have really done a really good job of shedding the water off for teams in the restricted area. So then the other look I played was Bron. I actually played Bron under his points, rebounds, and assists because, in my opinion, it's super correlated. I think with Austin Reeves coming back, well, I'm predicting Austin Reeves to come back. He listed as questionable, of course, but I think that takes away from some Bron usage. He's under in 5 of his 8 games this season with both Luka and Austin Reeves in, averaging 30 points, rebounds, and assists. So the line was at 32.5 last night. I think it's still at 32.5. The matchup is a difficult one since the Knicks, like I said, are top 10 in restricted area defense and assists allowed and rebounds allowed. So, I think it'll be a difficult matchup. Bron probably draws OG. If he doesn't have OG guarding him, it'll probably be, Josh Hart, which are two really good physical defenders. And you still got to finish over all the length at the rim with Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson. As long as LeBron doesn't get hot from the three-point line, I do think that his points, rebounds, and assists under are a really good look in this game. I also told you guys I just want to check and see what LeBron points, rebounds, and assists are right now. Let's see if the line has moved. Nope, still 32.5. It has moved. It's actually down to 31.5. So there's a 32.5 still available on FanDuel -125, but this has dropped just a tad bit. Like I said, I really love the restricted area defense that this team plays with. So real quick, they are top 10. Yeah, they are top 10 in restricted area defense. I like that. The read on LeBron under as well. The other play I was talking about was I told you guys I wanted to talk about was Karl-Anthony Towns. Karl-Anthony Towns points. I didn't know that they were going to come down. So he was listed at 19.5 last night. I kind of think the under is the right play. 19.5 is gone now, though. It's actually down to 18.5. And I'm just like, ever since the trade talks have come out, Karl-Anthony Towns hasn't really been out there trying to score the basketball. So that was the first part of the handicap. He's actually under in 5 straight games, not really shooting the ball a ton. His field goal attempts are down. His field goal percentage is actually down as well. He had 12 shots against the Portland Trail Blazers, only 3 for 11 against the Raptors, only 5 for 15 against the Kings, 2 for 4 against the 76ers, 5 for 8 against the Brooklyn Nets. And I think the other part of the handicap was that JJ Redick just does a really good job. When I remember watching the game last year when they played, and it was because the reason why the Lakers were able to win that game is because JJ Redick has some really good schemes for slowing down centers. Like the Lakers are a pretty good defense as far as giving up points in the restricted area. Karl-Anthony Towns finished that game last year with 11 points, and then when the Knicks went to LA, he finished that game with 12 points. So the last 2 games of the JJ Redick era, anyway, they've held Karl-Anthony Towns to 11 and 12 points. He's already not in really good form. And as long as he's not hitting a bunch of threes, Aiden and Jackson Hayes should be able to, neutralize Karl-Anthony Towns. So I still lean under on the 18.5 as well. He just hasn't been touching that number recently. I didn't play it though. All right, let's see what you guys are thinking here before we keep moving. This was the game that I probably spent the most time on. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. Towns over his boards. Yeah, he did get, I think he had 18 rebounds, 20 rebounds, something like that. Yeah, Karl-Anthony Towns back-to-back games where he's had 22 and 20 rebounds. That's where he's put his focus at for sure. Yeah, I did it, Brian. I did bet against the Lakers. It's really rare, super rare that I even bet Lakers, but I am fading my Lakers today. I just don't like the spot. Like I said, seven straight road game, and I think they run out of gas here. Mark is also on the Knicks. Dom says Lakers team total under. I did post a trend for people that follow me on Twitter. I posted a super strong trend on the under in this game as well. I didn't bet it, but that's the other thing that I would like to bet as well. What's up, Algina? Says cashed on Nemhart over his 11.5 rebounds and assists. Ubre over, Coward under. Ayo Desumo over 19.5 points. Okay. Lakers play no defense. I can't take them serious. Blunt says. Yeah, the Hornets hooping right now, saturated. Them boys balling. They were celebrating a little bit too much. I saw Charles Lee in the locker room doing cartwheels yesterday. I don't know, man. They might run out. I think they got the Pelicans up next though, so they hopefully you don't let up against the Pelicans. The Pelicans been playing tough though as of late. Mid-range says DeAndre Ayton under against New York defense. Number was too low mid-range. I did look into Ayton last night because we know that any center that's playing against the New York Knicks typically does not do well. But the number for Ayton was 10.5. The rebounds, they had dropped it super low, 6.5. Like those numbers are a tad bit too low for me. tad bit too low for Aiden. 16.5 is the number, but if he's sitting on the bench, it makes sense. Even with the number being 16.5, though, I just couldn't get there. Couldn't get there with Aiden under 16.5 rebounds, points plus rebounds. Oh man. What else y'all saying here? Bronson, so everybody on the New York Knicks, huh? That's the ski line. Let's see what else y'all saying in this one. I made a case for the Lakers if people want to take them. Knicks first half for Tasha. Prolific says Knicks first half as well. Yeah, he was doing the cartwheels. Y'all go look it up if y'all can find it, man. They were really, really happy. I heard Brandon Miller said he was going to keep the ball last night, too. He said, he hasn't really kept too many game balls, but they gave him the game ball yesterday. He said this one felt meaningful. So we'll see, man. I didn't play the Hornets yesterday. I haven't made any money. I keep thinking they're going to come down to earth, but shout out to Charles Lee. He got them playing like a little mini version of the Celtics. They're playing really good defense, staying in front of their man and, moving their feet, sharing the ball on offense. LaMelo not out there jacking up a bunch of shots and shooting the ball pretty well, but more so defensively. When you hold San Antonio, I think they average like 116. When you hold them to 106, like that's pretty meaningful basketball for sure. All right, let's get into the next game. Cavs and the Blazers. Prematurely, I bet this game. I knew that DeAndre Hunter was probably going to get traded because I was looking into the beat writer stuff yesterday. A lot of what I was watching when I was watching Locked On Cavs said that they were trying to get Ellis and a backup point guard because what's the kid name with the dreads? Darius Garland can't stay healthy. So I knew that was going to happen. I just didn't know it was going to happen after I made the bet. So I did bet this game. I bet it early. Cleveland, Portland. Line was at -1.5 yesterday. It is up to 3 now. The total was at 231, and it got bet down immediately. Then the DeAndre Hunter news came out. DeAndre Hunter got traded, for people who don't know. He got traded for Keon Ellis and Dennis Schroeder. And the Cavs are in a pretty good spot. Well, they were in a pretty good spot with DeAndre Hunter. I'm not sure I like the bet as much without him. I would want to know if Craig Porter Jr. is going to play. I spent some time going back and watching that game against Cleveland and Portland in the last game. And with Cleveland and Phoenix in that last game. And they desperately need Craig Porter Jr. because without Donovan Mitchell, their offense just, when he comes off the floor, they really legit can't score the basketball, which is why I played the under in this game as well. But we'll talk a little bit more about the total in a second. So Lonzo Ball will probably also be shipped is what I'm hearing. And I think it's accurate as well. Lonzo Ball to be traded. Looks like the Wizards probably going to pick him up. Lonzo just doesn't fit the scheme for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's shooting, I think, 30% from the field, 29% from the three-point line. The Cavs are a team that loves to shoot threes. And if you can't make him accurately, you really can't help the team out because he hinders the offense so much when he's out there with his inability to be able to shoot the ball. So that's why I think you need Craig Porter in. Of course, Keon Ellis, I don't think he's going to play. I don't think Dennis Schroeder is going to play in this game just because they just got traded. There's no Evan Mobley, of course, and no Max Strus. But I think when I put in the write-up last night, so we talk about the Portland Trail. The Cleveland Cavaliers have actually been playing some pretty good ball. They had actually won 5 straight games before the Phoenix game. And they got a really tough game coming up against the Clippers on deck as well. So I do think that they kind of need this one. I think they play the Kings after that. And then they got a really difficult game, I think maybe against Denver after that as well. So real quick, I'm going to just read you guys what I played because I actually sent this out. This is the first thing I played yesterday. I played this super early in the day as soon as the line came out because I saw -125 on the money line on Bet365. And before I could push the button, it had already changed. So I played Cleveland money line in this spot, -145, 147, I think, or something like that, to win a unit. And then I bet the under, and the total has actually gone up. So you can get a better number, but I still think it goes under. So I'll read you guys what I wrote. So line already moving some in the Cleveland side of things. I like the bounce back spot here. This will be their second game of a 5-game road trip. They need to win with games coming up against Denver and the Clippers. As 2 of their next 3 opponents. They kind of got punked to Phoenix last night. Of course, this was 2 nights ago now. but also only had one foul call in the first 3 quarters, which led to Kenny Atkinson getting kicked out of the game and being fined. I think they respond against a Portland team that's probably playing some of the worst basketball of this season. Denny came out after the last game and said that he wasn't 100%. Couldn't really speak on it much, but he wasn't 100%. This was after the New York Knicks loss. So I like that angle. Drew Holiday also was ruled out due to personal reasons. Portland's also coming home off a 3-game Eastern Conference road trip where Cleveland has already been on the West Coast with their game being in Phoenix in their last game. And then as far as the under goes, Cleveland has been playing some really good defense. I think their offense continues to slide on the road as well. Portland as a home dog typically plays some pretty good defense. Cleveland is still the 11th best defensive rated team in their last 5 games. They only allowed 109 points, which should help against the Portland team that's only scoring 105 points in their last 5 games. The 29th as far as scoring goes. But Portland is still 14th in defensive rating. So the last 5 games for Cleveland are only averaging about 228 points. Portland's last 5 games are averaging just 218 points. So I played under and I played Cleveland in this spot. I think I kind of feel indifferent about it, but I still feel like those bets can win. We still got some CLV. I'm not sure how much it means, but I don't really like Cleveland on the road in this spot without DeAndre Hunter. Of course, I bet it early. If Denny gets ruled in, this line will come down and it'll be even shorter. So we'll see. I'm on the under though. I didn't cash out and I'm on Cleveland, but I bet money line. All right, let's see what you guys are thinking here. So what do you think about the Knicks team total over? So real quick, let's just look at something real quick. So the last 5 times the Lakers have been road dogs, they've held 2 of their opponents under their team total. But they gave up 129 to the Cavs, 112 to the Clippers, 132 to the Trailblazers. I think the Knicks should be able to score, but I kind of like the full game under. I think the Knicks, even if the Knicks can't score, they can win this game with their offense or their defense, which is why I stayed away from the team total. J-Man says he'll go 8 and under 16.5 points plus rebounds. Okay. Deuce is blessed up. Chris took the Lakers money line. Luka to drop 40. Okay, so we definitely on the same different sides. Mark got minus 145 with Cleveland. I think it helps the trade itself saturated helps Cleveland from a long-term perspective because they free up a lot of money dumping DeAndre Hunter's contract. I don't like the trade like from a basketball perspective though. Like if I'm trying to win, Keon Ellis is a pretty good defender. He'll play like in my opinion like the Karis LeVert role. Remember Karis LeVert was on the team. He'll guard the other team's best defender. I'm not like super big on Dennis Schroeder, but I don't know. Like they do need a backup point guard though, because I do think LaMelo, that trade bringing in Schroeder, that signifies that they definitely trade Lonzo Ball before Thursday when the trade deadline happened. Let's see. Adam says I'm targeting Denny assists in this spot. Key edge with no Drew Holiday. When Drew is out, Denny becomes the main distributor and averages 7 assists. Okay. Dylan says, I think I read something that said that Dennis has been traded 7 times or 8 times, something crazy. Yeah, he's just a defender. I agree with that. Sprinkled Denny triple double. Adam says, yeah, I'm not big on Denny right now. I think that he is playing through some injuries for sure. George ruled out for the Jazz. Now you take the team total under. Now you take the team total under, probably the full game under as well. Looks like Utah team total 112.5 on FanDuel and Caesars. I'm actually interested in that. Let's see if I can get it. I do think that the Utah Jazz struggle to score the basketball today. If I can get 112.5, I'm gonna bet it right now on Caesars. Let's see. Yeah, a little ChrisBeCappinn exclusive YouTube channel play. I'll take the team total under. Utah, if I can get it in. Let's see. Oh yeah, we in. Utah team total under 112.5 on the road in Toronto is what I just played. And it just literally just dropped. I'm looking at the odds screen right now. It actually didn't drop. The full game is now dropping. Yeah. I think that game goes under. Jazz are 8-4 to the under as double-digit road dogs this season. They got to 110 against the Spurs. Against slow-paced teams, they got to 101 against the Clippers, 112 against the Nuggets. They haven't played that many slow-paced teams. The Timberwolves, they got to 97. The Celtics, they got to 105. So, yeah, I think Toronto's defense can be great in this spot. Kevin Love will play. That don't move the needle for me. Nurkic will play as well. 111 on FanDuel. Yeah, get the 112.5 if you want the under. Which now is dropping. Yeah, never mind. The 112s are gone now. It looks like Cartwright got a 112.5. I do see it down to 111.5 on all the other books. So snipe that one. Who sent that? Who said that? Shout out to Super. Appreciate you, Super. Yeah, I got that. I got that in real quick. All right. All right. So those are the plays that I have for today. Real quick. I'll do these pretty quickly. So recap, just for people that may need to jump off of here now. What I played so far was Mamus Kilishvili over his 1.5 threes. I played Michael Porter Jr. under his 9.5 rebounds and assists. I played New York Knicks minus 4.5, Bron under 32.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And Cleveland minus 148 on the money line and the under, but I got 228.5, so you can get a better number than I got. And the live look that we just played, which is 112.5, the team total under for the Utah Jazz. So those are the plays that I'm on today. Let's take you guys through the rest of the slate. So we got the Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics line in this one. It looks like, let's see. I saw 13.5. I think Boston can blow out Milwaukee. I really, really do. I think they can beat them by 20, 25 points in this game. The Bucks have been just so bad, man. I really didn't want to go near this game because of the big spread and it being a Sunday. So Milwaukee is 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 games. Only 11-14 against the spread on the road. They 4 straight losses, 4 straight non-covers. They couldn't even beat the Wizards. Boston, this is their 4th straight home game. They get Jaylen Brown back. They're 8-2 to the under in their last 10 games. They do have revenge as well because they lost 116-101 in Milwaukee earlier this season. So Boston, laying a big number. Nobody's going to want to take them here. I think that they can smoke the Milwaukee Bucks. I also think that their team total is probably a really good look for the over. We know the Bucks are one of the worst three-point defenses in the league. The Celtics like to shoot a bunch of threes. I didn't know where to go. I think Derek White's in a really good buy low spot, over 2.5. But when I looked at his attempts, they were super low as of late. Peyton Pritchard three-pointers, Sam Hauser three-pointers, like all of those guys are in really, really good spots. The Bucks, they can't stop anybody. They can't guard anybody. So Celtics team total over, Celtics minus 13 is the only way that I would look. I'm not putting my money on the Bucks until they show me some form of like life. They have really been that bad as of late. So I didn't bet the game, but those are my thoughts. If you guys are interested. Wanted to look at one more thing real quick. If I can get my spreadsheet to load. Yeah, Bucks are 4-1 to the under, 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games. They lost by 10 points to the Wizards. They do got a rest advantage though, 2 days to 1. So take that and do what it is that you wish. I'm not messing with the Bucks on a Sunday though. Next game, Orlando and San Antonio. Franz is listed as out. San Antonio can submit their injury report late, of course, because they did play yesterday in Charlotte. So they can submit their injury report late. I'm not sure who's going to be on it or if anybody will be on it at all. Orlando is 8-14 against the spread on the road. They do have back-to-back wins and covers against the Miami Heat and the Toronto Raptors, back-to-back overs. Offense has been playing a little bit better. San Antonio won the earlier matchup by 2. They were laying 8.5. They were actually getting 8.5 points in Orlando and won that game 114-112. San Antonio was actually missing Wemby in that spot and still were able to get the job done. I think I was talking to somebody about this yesterday. It feels like San Antonio, we know that they're a good team, but they don't really get up for the games that aren't against the other good teams in the Western Conference specifically. I feel like they play their best basketball when they're playing against Houston, OKC, Denver, Minnesota. And then when they play against Charlotte or, a team like the Utah Jazz, they don't typically cover the spread. So, maybe a little bit motivated in this spot. I'm not sure what to do with this game. I know that the Spurs are 7-1 to the under when they're playing back-to-backs, 14-6 to the under if they're a home favorite. So that tells me that maybe, it's an under-type game. I also looked at Wemby. I think his numbers might be a little bit inflated. His points, rebounds, and assists is at 39.5. Really just on the strength of him not playing, him not achieving that type of number. Maybe it's because of minutes restriction, whatever the case might be. But on second leg of back-to-back games with Fox in, he only averages 35 points, rebounds, and assists. He's under in 4 of his 5 games. So Wemby under his 39.5 points, rebounds, and assists was something that was on my short list, but I didn't play it. Chicago, Miami, they've played 5 million times in 3 days. So I'm definitely not touching that game. It is a 5th game in 7 nights for Chicago, though. Not a game that I'm playing. Utah, Toronto, we just talked about that. I got 2 bets in that game. Sacramento and Washington. I saw Westbrook listed as questionable, and then Sarr listed as questionable, and then Trey Jones will continue to be out. Trey Johnson will continue to be out for the Washington Wizards after he sprained his ankle the other day. So real quick, do we have an updated injury report? Let me go to Twitter real quick. I need to see what y'all seeing. So Nurkic, Kevin Love, Keontae George. All right, cool. So yeah, Sarr, Trey Johnson. Yeah. I think Sarr is not going to play, and I think Sacramento can win this game. That's the way I think about this game. Westbrook is questionable. Monk is questionable. Keegan Murray is still out. I just kind of feel like Washington has won a couple games at home, been competitive. Sacramento is not a team that wants to win. The Wizards also don't want to win. It is their 4th straight home game. They are coming off a 30-point loss to the Wizards, to the Lakers, 3rd and 4th, 4th and 6th. And the Kings, I think this is the last game of a super long road trip. They've lost 8 in a row, 3rd and 4th, 4th and 6th for them. If they get Westbrook back here, I think that'll help a lot. Maybe even Westbrook to score the basketball. If Sarr doesn't play, I want nothing to do with the defense for the Washington Wizards. So I kind of think Sacramento is the right side. They haven't been good on the road, just 9-15-1 against the spread. They're 4-6 in their last 10 games, only 3-22 straight up on the road, but now they're laying points. So I think that Sacramento is the right side, especially if Sarr doesn't play and Westbrook gets ruled in. Sacramento also beat them earlier this season, 128-115, the 7.5-point home favorites. That game went over to 235.5 as well. So we'll see what happens there. What else? Clippers and the Suns. Didn't touch this game. I did see the Suns open as 1-point favorites. They are now 1.5-point dogs, it looks like. And the total was at 214, and it's down to looks like 213.5 everywhere. Bogdanovich is back for the Clippers. Clippers, of course, coming off that loss as a favorite against the Denver Nuggets. So Bogdanovich is off the report. And Jalen Green, I think, on the other side. Let me just double check real quick. Yeah, so Jalen Green is questionable. He did play in the last game, right? And for the Clippers, it's just Derrick Jones Jr. that's listed as out. So Clippers have been good off a loss. They're only 7-13 against the spread on the road in general. And they do have double-digit in-season revenge. This is the first leg of a back-to-back as well for them. The Suns have been the most profitable team in the NBA this season. It's 17-6 straight up at home, 16-6-1 against the spread at home, 5th straight home game. It is 3rd and 4th, 4th and 6th, coming off the win against the Cavs as a dog in that spot. And it's the 4th matchup of the season. Phoenix has taken the last 2. The Clippers won the first one. So when I was looking into this game, I still got a little bit more work to do. I kind of feel like the total can go over. Like, neither one of these defenses are that great. With as far as guarding the 3-point line, like the Clippers can be abused from the 3-point line, and Phoenix, if I think Phoenix can give up some threes in this spot as well. So I kind of feel like an over as far as the total goes. Feel like it's a little bit too low in my opinion. Player prop wise, Mark Williams, I had him listed at under 20.5 points, rebounds, and assists in my notes. He's under in like it's a trend that I just kind of found without Devin Booker playing. I'm not sure if Devin Booker just helps him or inspires him or what, but he averages just 13.3 points, rebounds, and assists without Devin Booker in the season. The number is set at 20.5. He did have some really good matchups against Cleveland, against the Clippers early this season, but I don't know. I just kind of feel like he gets the matchup isn't good. The Clippers are actually ranked sixth in restricted area points allowed. They're sixth in rebounds allowed, third in points allowed via the pick and roll man. So I kind of lean Mark Williams under his points, rebounds, and assists, but not quite sure if I'll get there, man. Zubac has been playing some really good defense as of late for the Clippers, and the Clippers have been playing some really good defense in general. So that's the Clippers game. I didn't bet it. And then OKC Denver, one game that I did not spend a lot of time on at all. I didn't really look too deeply into the game. I do see that Jokic is probable, Jamal Murray is probable, Christian Braun is doubtful, Aaron Gordon continues to be out, Cam Johnson is out. OKC will be without AJ Mitchell and Caruso and Jalen Williams. But OKC is, not playing great right now. I think that's something that we can't deny. The spread has moved tremendously in their favor. I'm not 100% sure why. Like, what did I miss? But they're up to 8-point favorites now. So a lot of money's come in on the Denver Nuggets in this spot. You actually can get Denver plus coming in on OKC. You can get Denver plus 8 right now. Pretty much widely available. The total has gone down a lot from 228.5 down to 222.5. OKC has failed to cover 4 straight games. They're coming off the loss to Minnesota. Denver back-to-back wins versus the Brooklyn Nets and the Clippers. They won 4 of their last 5, 7 of their last 10. This is their 4th straight home game, 3rd game in 4 nights, 4th game in 6 nights, though. So Jamal Murray said the other day, I tweeted this as well. Jamal Murray said, it's just another game when he was talking about, in relation to this game. I disagree with that. I think everybody in the Western Conference as a contender, when they see OKC on the other side, going to give it their best shot. So I'm not sure why the numbers come down, so far. I know that Denver is not in the greatest spot with it being 3rd and 4th, 4th and 6th. But I don't know, man. I think OKC gonna get the best they're gonna get the best effort from all these really good teams. I would only be taking Denver in this spot, but I need to do a little bit more work on this game. So Denver plus the 8 would be my thought process in this game. Thinking that the number's gotten a little bit too big now. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. Adam says we used to fade Miles Turner, but don't look now. He's over 4 of his 5 games. I'm glad you mentioned this, Adam, because I didn't write this in my notes. I think I was looking at this on my phone last night, or when I was laying down in bed and I didn't have all my monitors. Kyle Kuzma is somebody that you can fade. Kyle Kuzma, in my opinion, is fadeable at pretty much every single game he plays against. He's a guy that if his spot up shot is not falling, Kyle Kuzma over in back-to-back games against the Sixers in the Wizards. But I don't know, man. If Kuzma's shot not falling, he shot 2 for 4 against the Sixers, and he shot 0 for 3 against the Washington Wizards. He shot 18 shots and 12 shots in these 2 games. Something tells me Kuzma is not in a great spot today. A lot of his points come in the restricted area. Celtics, one thing they do a good job is not giving up points in the restricted area. I kind of think that Kyle Kuzma struggles today. I really, really do. 15.5 is a number. I kind of want to fade Kyle Kuzma, go under the 15.5. It looks like it's only available on DraftKings right now, minus 125. I think that's what it was last night as well. I'm actually going to add Kyle Kuzma under. He's been doing a good job of rebounding the basketball. Let's see real quick. Rebounds, 6.5 is a number, and that's a little too high too. It looks like, yeah, that's a tad bit too high as well, especially if they get blown out. Yeah, I think I'm fading Kyle Kuzma today. Under 15.5 points. Like I said, there's only one available right now. I think I'm fading Kyle Kuzma. I'm glad you mentioned this, Adam, because I totally forgot that. Make Money says with 8-1 says Sam Merrill over 11.5. What we thinking? I need to look at Portland's defense recently against the 3-point line. I haven't really looked too deeply, but I mean, somebody got to score the basketball. It really is if Portland's going to be able to run them off the line or not. Saturated says, why does it feel too easy to take the Spurs and Celtics? I don't think it's easy to take the Spurs. The Celtics, yes, because the Bucks are trash. Tommy says he bet the Bucks team total over 101.5. Okay. Adam says my favorite bet today is Hardaway threes. He's going to torch the Thunder from the corner. Locked him in over up to 5. Check out his numbers lately. I don't even got to look at him. I seen him out there knocking down the 3-point shots. I think he was the leading scorer in one of their most recent games. He just out there letting them go. I think he's getting up probably like 10 attempts a game. And if you tell me it's OKC defense, I like it. Could not talk you off at all, Adam. Could not talk you off. I like that look a lot, actually. Wishing you the best, man. If Sir sits, I think Kings team total over. I would like to have Monk though, and Westbrook, honestly. But yeah. Super says sneaky prop look. Kings allow a lot of steals, and Wizards get steals at home. Okay. The other thing I wanted to mention real quick is Sabonis. Sabonis minutes have not really ramped up too much, but his rebounds was at 11.5. If Sar doesn't sit, I don't see why Sabonis can't get 15 rebounds today. Let me just see, because that was something else that I looked at last night. It's so many looks today. His points prop up from 16.5 to 17.5. He hasn't gotten 17 points, but one game since he's returned from injury back on the 16th. So that's pretty alarming that his points are up and he's only gone over in one game. But he's been playing some tough defenses: Philly, the Knicks, Detroit, Cleveland, and going under a lot. Rebounds listed at 11.5. It's actually minus 130 now. Minus 115 on Fanatics. I can't play Fanatics. BetMGM got minus 120. I like this Sabonis rebound look. I was just basing this off minutes from previous seasons because his minutes hasn't been great recently, but he is getting back to that 25 to 30 minute range. And against the Wizards, the team that allows the most rebounds without Sar, like Sabonis probably could have a double-double in the first quarter in this game. Like that's something that I wanted to look at as well. So much to look at, man. Malik says, appreciate the Nimhard look over his assists and Sengun double-double from last night. I'm glad you cashed it, Malik. Glad you cashed it. John likes the Knicks as well. LAC and Phoenix over first half for D-Trip. Saturated says it feels like the resurgence of the big man this season. Suns first half for Tasha. Yeah, they're struggling right now, Saturated. I think that line is a little too big, in my opinion. Dude says he likes Denver money line. John Collins has treated me right with the points plus rebounds over, but today I'm on the fence. Okay. What else y'all saying here? Kuzma in the Garden. He's gonna throw bricks. I love that under. Yeah, I think I might get there with Kuzma under is 15.5. Tommy says Denver plus 7.5 in his pocket. Denver is a different animal at home. OKC has not looked good lately. Yeah, I agree with that. Tommy says Peyton Watson under 25.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Max bet. Oh man, not a max bet. Markel, you think the Jazz can win in Toronto with Toronto coming off back-to-back losses and the Jazz not having Keontae George? Okay. Yeah, Durant rebound should be good, double. I agree with that. Dude is a rebounding machine. Both of them. If you parlay Jalen Duran 13 rebounds with Sabonis 13 rebounds, that probably ain't that much value, honestly. But that could be a look today as well. Those boys should eat for sure. All right, I've been on here for way too long, man. I hope that you guys found this show helpful. If so, do me a favor and hit the like button. Here's the plays that I made, and I guess there's even more to add to the short list, but I'm not adding everything. You got to go back and look. Maybe I will chop the show up into sections for you guys, but we kind of talked about everything all throughout. Honestly, I didn't do a good job of staying on topic today. I don't feel like I did anyway. There's a lot to share though, man. I spend hours researching these games and trying to break it all down for you guys. All right. So the other thing was Kyle Kuzma, though. I think I'm gonna play this under his 15 and a half points against Boston today. And then I guess we're not guessing, but I did add the Utah team total under. I think we got 112 and a half. Still a lot to like today, man. Lot to like for sure. I don't think I've made this many plays on a Sunday in a long time though. So could be absolutely trash. We've seen that movie before, but hopefully we find the winners today, man. Best of luck on your action. Y'all check the resources out. They're all listed in the description of the video. Sorry for JaXon today. JaXon kind of tripping, needed a day off, I guess. But the link is in the description if you guys are interested in checking JaXon out. Same thing for Outlier, where I use the handicap on my player props, Moneyball and Odds Jam as well, man. Best of luck on your action. Enjoy your Sunday, and I will catch you guys in the next one.